Building your brand, essential tips for property investors and small business owners. Brand reputation and the management of is crucial for us as property investors or small business owners. So let's break down why. Starting with what it really means and how it affects property investors like you and I. Let's get into it. And we'll come back to this point a bit later on in the video as well, because I've got some really important insights on what that actually means. Right, so first off, what is brand management? Well guys, to me, brand management, it is so important to us, especially in this day and age and especially in this economy. Everyone always looks at reviews and they always look at things like that when it comes to making a decision whether to purchase with a small business, even when they're looking to maybe move into a property. So it really does affect us as property investors. And it's really important to me because I think it's something that we don't really talk about and something that we really need to focus on more. And it's not only building that brand reputation, it's also maintaining it in the long run as well. Now, if you are running a small business, you're a small property investor like myself, then brand reputation is going to be crucial for you. Now, I have literally been an architectural designer for the past 20+ years, and I've also dipped my foot into property investing for the past 3 years for myself. And what I can tell you is that people really do talk, whether it's positive or negative. That feedback is crucial. And unfortunately, any negative feedback normally tends to travel faster and further than anything positive, and that's especially online. So take me for example, I am literally sticking to my plan of purchasing and investing in mixed-use commercial properties and then converting them into residential properties as well. Now that comes with its responsibilities because again, I'm working with clients, I'm working with tenants, I'm working with contractors. So I need to portray and I need to have and maintain this and build this brand reputation of being a trustworthy and nice person to work with, which I like to pride myself and think that that is true. And by the way guys, my name's Sabrina and I'm literally documenting my whole property investing journey here on YouTube, the good parts and the bad parts. So if you are liking the video so far, please like, comment and subscribe for more. So guys, if my reputation kind of gets to the point where it's not good and people don't want to work with me, that is not going to be good for my brand and it's not going to be good for me progressing long term. And as I've said in other videos, it's all about building that really reliable team, and you're not going to be able to do that unless you are a person that is reliable and nice to work with in the first place. So it's really important to build up that brand reputation. All right, so here's where the good and the bad part of brand reputation comes into play and why it's so important to build up that good brand reputation. So first, the good. So trust equals growth. So when your brand is solid and you are continually delivering that great service, that great reputation, that great trustworthy element of you is just growing and growing, then people will learn to trust you even more. What that means is that people will then start to recommend you to others more, and then word of mouth, things grow and grow through word of mouth, and it's almost like a snowball effect. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with someone that they trust? So you're building that reputation, people are going to want to work with you more, and that equals more and more business and more attention, and then that just builds and builds, and you will just be that go-to person for that special thing that you do. So whether you're converting that commercial space into that beautiful residential property, or whether you're literally giving advice online, people are going to go to you for that go-to thing, and that can only be a good thing for you. And this is what is going to keep deals coming through for you. For example, if you've built up a good relationship with the local estate agent, hopefully then you're going to be in the know for any of the properties that come through. You're going to be more favourable to them, and if you're always paying your contractors on time, they're going to come to you and they're going to want to do more and more work for you. So it's a plus win-win for you. And if you're building up that communication with, for example, tenants and things like that, and you're letting them know how fast a repair is going to be, what's going to happen, or if you can't make the repair by a certain time, if you let them know before that expected date that they're waiting for, then that's only going to be seen as a good communication in your eyes. And all of this will just amount to free marketing, because it's going to be free word of mouth. And as I said, word of mouth will grow and spread, and you will become that go-to person for that thing that you are specialised in. And that hopefully will translate into really good social media posts about you, and again, just spreading word of mouth organically, digitally, and just it's all going to add up to great things for you. Yeah, so don't be afraid to ask that happy customer to leave a really good review for you on social media. Then There's always the bad as well. And heaven forbid, that can be either a bad review or a whole bunch of bad reviews. They can really hurt, but then you've got to remember, we're all human, we all make mistakes, but it's how we rectify those mistakes that is going to be the main thing. Sometimes a client might not be happy with the end result, but this is always a chance for you to build on your communication skills and speak to that client and get to know what the actual problem is and to rectify it. And it's all about how you handle that and that process that you have in place for handling those maybe negative reviews, which then you can turn into a positive. So if you're proactive and you've got that proactive mindset to rectify and fix the problem, that can be turned into a good thing. But if you ignore it or ignore any negative feedback, if you don't nip that in the first instance, then that can grow and escalate to something even worse. And as I said earlier on in the video, negative feedback or a negative experience can spread by word of mouth, by like wildfire, which can really kill a small business, especially in this day and age with everyone leaving reviews all over. How you handle it is the real main thing. How you handle that first negativity by being proactive is going to be crucial. If someone does leave a negative review and it's on a space where, for example, like a Google review or something like that, it's on a public platform, how you respond to that and the time frame in which you respond to that is going to be everything. So you want to really reach out as soon as possible and reach out to that customer in a very professional way and just make sure that they are aware, they know that you are on that and you are doing everything you can and you're asking them, what can we do to make this better for you? And in some cases that can even be better than having a 5-star review. It's how you deal with that review on that public platform for everybody to see is going to be the main thing. And I think that's something that we don't talk about a lot, is that pressure of perfection. Sometimes it's not always about getting the most perfect result, but it's how you deal with that and how publicly it's shown that you are dealing with that and how you deal with your customers and that you do provide that high level of customer service. And I think in today's society on social media, we're pressured to show that perfect, polished picture of ourselves on social media and have that again reflected in our business. And that's not always the case. But as I said, it's how we deal with this that counts. So as long as you're clear, you're transparent, consistent and honest with your business and your brand, then that's going to help you manage situations like that. And trying to portray yourself as perfect, it might come out and reflect as being inauthentic, and that's something that we don't want to do. So what's the takeaway here for small business owners and property investors like you and myself? Well, it's to build trust, stay authentic, be honest, be proactive, and really help manage and protect your reputation online. So even though we can't stop or we can't control everything that people say about us online, we can always respond with integrity and fix problems as they arise and keep striving to do better. And that is how we're going to protect our brand and manage that moving forward and effectively build a brand that people can rely on. And watch this video next from our BRRR strategy. Thanks guys, bye.